Tried to make this video earlier, and I just basically cried the entire way through. So I don't want to. I'm not gonna post that. That's ridiculous. You guys don't need to see me cry, but um, I realized some uh, pretty big things about myself today. I was responding to an email from a guy, and he had made a comment like, "Hey, if I could just talk to you, maybe I could just talk on the phone or something." And I was explaining I had responded to him, and then I explained at the very end of the email why I don't do phone calls. I won't do phone calls, and I probably never will. Um, and I had discovered that the reason for this is that I struggle to toe the professional personal boundary. This is why I had to end my Patreon. I was doing Patreon calls with a few guys, and I had to end that. I was also doing paid calls on Calendly for like $50 a call. I had to end that too. Um, I'm going to explain why I and this is why I stay alone in my life too. This is why I pretty much keep to myself. Um, why I avoid most social interactions with people. Why I try to come off as very cold, maybe even hostile. Like not hostile. Like I'm gonna nothing like that. But I just come off as very don't approach me, don't talk to me. I try to just not get in not get into conversations with people, not get into any sort of possibility of a connection with people. And that is because um, I think I'm a fairly empathetic person. I've heard the term like empath thrown around on the internet. That's like a huge thing nowadays. Um, I think that's probably it probably describes kind of the traits, the qualities that I have pretty well. But the thing about an empath is you get this idea that they're like, oh, they're so great, they're so empathetic, they're just blah blah blah. Well, no, I mean, they can be dicks. I think of myself as a dick. Like I'm a straight douchebag. In fact, I'm kind of the worst one because I'm the one that makes people think that I'm interested in them or that I care about them, that I'm their friend, that we can be close. I promise what I can't deliver. Um, and this stems from a recognition of what people need, what they want. Um, a lot of people, whether they're lonely or whether they just need a vent or whether they need somebody to understand them or whether they need somebody to make them laugh or just somebody to keep them company or somebody to share in their frustration or whatever it is. A lot of people they need certain things, and there are certain people that are better at reading what people need. And there are certain people that are very, not only can they read what people need and want and desire, but they also can provide that or simulate that. They can simulate that for them. They can almost like fake that for them. And that stems from a survival instinct, a usually, I think, deep seated in trauma from childhood. It is a way to survive. What you were taught in some way that this is your way to survive. It's also your way to feel loved. It's also your way to feel accepted, or that people approve of you. Uh, and so that's a big thing in me. That's a big. That's like a huge thing in me. Um, I I want to, not only do I want to make people feel good, but I also want them to see me as like a good person. They enjoy my company. They see that I'm a person that understands, or like can really make them feel like I'm providing something that they're missing, or like that I'm sort of special in some way, or like they approve of me or something like that. So, but the problem is that one, you end up coming across people who can kind of take advantage of this. That if you don't have boundaries yourself, that these people don't have any boundary of their own to sort of um, stop themselves from extracting as much of this out of you as they can. Uh, I don't think that people are conscious of this. I don't think that they're doing it knowingly. I don't think that they're doing this intentionally, but this is a real danger. And so what ends up happening is, because you don't have any boundaries, I'm talking about myself now, and other people that may be in a similar boat, because I don't have any boundaries, and because I can make people feel like, whatever they need to feel, or I can provide something for them, um, and I can't stop myself, right? I can't like cut that off, because if I cut that off, then I'm afraid that they'll disapprove of me, that they'll now think I'm rude, or they'll think that they'll think that I'm a dick, or they'll think that I'm faking it, or that this is purely transactional or whatever. So I can't put that boundary in place, and so I just let things kind of I let my I let relationships get too personal and too close. Any sort of connection or relationship that I have with people, I can let it get too close, too personal, and even so much to the point where I'm uncomfortable now. Like, I'm uncomfortable, even though I did this to myself. You know what I mean? Like, I do it to myself. I'm my own worst enemy. Like, if you're an empath, you're your own worst enemy, because you let them come way past where they should have, and you can't say no. And then what ends up happening is, because you can't really explain this, or because you can't, like, it's almost like there's no middle ground. You either somebody is very, very close to you, like very personal, very close, very dear to you, or you never talk to them. They're not even an acquaintance. They're not even like nothing. They're like literally nothing in your life. There's no in between with an empath, I don't think. Or at least for me, whatever I am, if that's an empath, I don't know. I have a weird time calling myself an empath, because again, like, look at what I'm doing to people. Like, it's almost like you're leading them on, and you're promising something that you can never, that eventually you'll have to um, end. That the entire promise was a lie. You know, this person thought that I understood them, or I was their friend, or that I really cared, and like I didn't. It was just it all stemmed from like from like me just wanting you to feel like that. I want you to feel like that. But I can't actually give you that though. But I want you to feel like that. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know what the people are that are attracted to like people like me, what you would call them. But I think maybe other empaths can be attracted to other empaths, and then that's a really, I mean, you just get, I mean, super close, and then there's no, both parties don't know when to stop, and both parties are kind of trying to simulate what they think the other one wants, and how to make them feel this way, but they don't actually, um there's no real connection. You know what I mean? Like, there's no real um mutual understanding of boundaries, a healthy relationship, um, helping each other heal and helping it. No, it's just kind of I don't know how to explain it, but I've had certain friendships like that, um, or whatever you call them. So this is something that I've kind of noticed in myself, and this is why I made a video way back where I said every human being feels like spam, and in that video I said I feel like I have to protect myself. I feel like I have to stay alone. I have to be alone. And the reason that I've always felt like I have to be alone and that I can't have the regular relationships with people that most people have is because I have no there's just no healthy medium there. I'm either, we're either very, very close, you're very, very dear to me, and those people actually do genuinely care about. That's not a person where I just want to make you feel like that. It's not like I just want to make you feel like that. Those are people that I actually um, genuinely care about. But those are few. Those are very. Those types of people are very few. So like most people in the world, I can't have I just can't have that sort of just regular relationship, um, that sort of balanced relationship, and I think that's why I had to end my Patreon calls because it got to a certain point where I can't toe that professional personal boundary, and it got to a certain point where everything just got too personal, and I mean I won't get into the particulars, but like a few of more than one of them, like they just got too personal. Like it was just like I felt like I just felt like my life and theirs were getting entangled now. And like that's not how it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a separation. There's supposed to be a healthy boundary. And I couldn't match that. All my calls would go like really long. I was never able to just be like, "Hey, all right, time. It's time. It's been an hour. I'll see you next time." Like I can't say that because I feel like I'm a dick. Like I feel like I'm a dick. I feel like the other person thinks that I'm just extracting like money out of them. I wanted them to feel like I genuinely cared. So I'd let conversations go over by 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Um, I'd be, I'd let them text me. It's just, you see, and then it gets to a point where I'm like, I can't maintain this anymore. This has gotten to a point where I can't maintain this, and I don't know how to manage this in like a healthy way. I just have to sever it completely. I that's it. That's the only thing. Because I think a lot of those guys, unfortunately, I mean, it's nothing against them, but I just don't think that I really. Again, if I was being my pleasing self, if I was like being this pleasing person, then what I would say is about these guys is like it was nothing about them. It was just about me. And while it was about me, it was my own stuff. Um, it also was them too. I mean, these were guys that I just, they just weren't. Uh, they just weren't people that I felt I could have a healthy, balanced relationship with. Like they just weren't at that level. And that's it's just people just aren't compatible. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with those guys, but it just means that we're not compatible. And but I think this is why I struggled so much with women, why I got so addicted to pornography. Um, it was this weird. disparity. Like there's this disparity, um, this incongruence with almost a contradiction because I would be really I'd want to please women. Like when I was younger, I would really want to please women. I'd really want to focus on pleasing women because it stemmed from like I want you to approve of me. I want you to feel good. I want everything to be good for you. I want to be seen as good in your eyes. And yet at the same time, I was like looking at crazy stuff on the internet, literally objectifying women and looking at them as like bodies for like my entire life. And so that severed my connection with them in a way of where like, yo, like the dick doesn't work. And now like you're super lustful, but then like you're super pleasing. But then like if you don't feel like you're getting um, approval or whatever, or maybe you're just being, I don't know, maybe I was just being too much or something, but there was just no healthy boundary. I don't think for me, like I just wanted, maybe I just wanted to be too close, like too much. Um, there was just this stuff, just this stuff that I had to get over, and I just didn't even see it. And so I think that turned a lot of women off, and then just made my problems with being addicted to the hub even worse. And so I just got further into that because I knew that I couldn't manage like a balanced relationship with a woman. Um, it's hard enough with just regular human beings, but with a woman especially, things are turned on 1,000. Everything gets magnified, all your trauma, all your faults. Everything gets magnified when the masculine meets the feminine or whatever. It's different than when you have a friend, but and so I would just use um, porn as the sort of the you know just a way to sort of escape my inability to have like a balanced relationship with a woman. Uh, and yeah, it's just a lot to unpack, I'm sure. But I don't know if there's any of you that can relate, but hopefully. But yeah, this was just wild. This was just wild to me. It was just like it was just a crazy realization to me. Like I'd never seen that about myself. Like I had never seen that I was incapable of setting boundaries and incapable of to, having any sort of relationship in between nothing and super close, getting even closer, like almost, I mean, is there such a thing as too close? Maybe. um, so you know anyway, yeah, I guess that's it. That's the video.